Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I think you can guess already what this video will be about from this description on the shirt. It says Sorosoke. That's like you were saying, speak up, and hashtag ENDSARS. So over the past few weeks, the social media, the news everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere really, has been filled, with captions, with videos, with shouts, with so many things, all saying one thing, hashtag ENDSARS. So as a way of introduction, I'm Leah Ajayi. I'm a Nigerian doctor in the United Kingdom. So first thing, like, I'm Nigerian, even though I'm not resident in Nigeria at the moment. However, I grew up in Nigeria. I spent the most part of my life in Nigeria. I have family members in Nigeria. I have friends in Nigeria. So yeah, even though I'm not there, but I'm Nigerian. Yeah, and even though at the moment I might say, oh, what is going on, I'm not affected by it, but in a way it also affects me, because when I think of it or even read it, or I've been so disturbed about all the happenings and everything so far. So I just said, okay, I have to just do this video and just talk about it and just share my opinion and share my view about it. Yeah, so come along with me. This is the first time I can recall that majority of the population are not divided by religion, by tribe, by the level of education, by their social status, by whatever, and they've come together with one united voice to speak up, to say enough of this oppression, to say no, we want things changed. This is the first time, and I think that this is the greatest win for me so far when I look at everything that's happened, from the protests and all that. Everyone being united, everyone even having a common goal and saying no, we want things to change. Yeah, to me this being the greatest achievement so far. Yeah, so if you're not really aware what this hashtag ENDSARS and everything is all about, I'll just bring you just up to speed with that, just with a little brief. Okay, so following slides we just tell you briefly what everything was all about. Yeah. Also to notice that what really started out as a peaceful protest for people to speak up, the youth saying, oh, this is what we want to be changed, we want things to be changed, we want things to be put in place. But over the course of the protest, that escalated to killing of peaceful protesters. Very sad, very sad. What happened to the use of other non-violent means, even if you have to disperse the crowd, which they were all peaceful. Yeah, it was not necessary. It was very wrong to have killed them. Very sad. And now the most recent one going on is looting. There's nationwide looting, people discovering where food items, COVID-19 palliatives are being kept, and oh my god, people have been hungry and you're saying you're keeping them. So many things. I would say this all stems out even from people that have been deprived of access to basic amenities, people that have sat and watched over the years how corruption has been going on, how the resources meant for them have been used in another way, how they can't fend for themselves, for their families and all that. So I think it's a ripple effect that has stemmed from all that. Yeah. Now for me, when I looked at everything, it was more than just the hashtag ENDSARS, ENDSARS, which is the special anti-robbery squad, saying enough of this killing, enough of victimization of young people, enough of profiling people based on their appearance, based on the gadget they use and all that. Looking deeply, it was just more than that for me. And I found this acronym that I think which also summarizes everything, all what this cry has been all about. Yeah. First thing, for education and economy reform, this ENDSARS, for me, I see it as a movement, as a point really of the cry for a better Nigeria, of the cry for better standard of living, provision of basic amenities, of enough of corruption, oppression and all that. So the first E, education and economy reform, like looking into education, providing more funds for education to all levels of education, because really in Nigeria, most Nigerian universities is either the strike, either the lecturers on strike, or the condition really is really not even suitable for learning, which is so sad. Like I can recall last year in the news, there was, I think, a university that was on strike, and the governor was just saying, oh, you can do whatever you like, it's not my business and all that, which is really sad. So I think there needs to be education and economy reform of the economy, in the sense that there has to be provision of more job opportunities, either skilled or unskilled. Very sad to notice that many university graduates, like, they don't have jobs. Like many people, even with the first degree, with masters, there's no job. And many people have had to just find other means of livelihood, like being makeup artists. It's something good, but it's different if that is not really the passion of the person. Like you've gone to school or to be like a lawyer and engineer and all that, and you come out and there's no job. You have to like find means of sustenance, and that's the story of majority of the Nigerian youths. Yeah. Yeah, national constitution reform. Like I will just show you this chart which shows the salary Nigerian senators they get. Oh my god, in a month, the amount they receive. That's why many of them, many people, they just say do or die affair. They have to get in, but it shouldn't be like that. There should be a reform of the salary, even the allowances and all that. That can be channeled towards something better or something good, rather than someone just sitting down on that huge amount of money. And very funny is that if you go to their constituency, they are not even doing anything. That's the sad part. It's different. Oh, if you get in the money, but you are investing it in your community, you are investing it, in the lives of the people that voted for you to get there. But it's a very sad story. During this COVID-19, I just saw one constituency and what the senator could do in order to create unwashable basins. Like it was so pathetic. I was like, oh my god. Like, even if you want to do it from your pocket and say, okay, I'm just doing this for my community, like, why would you do such? So there should be national constitution reform. Yeah. Also, debt accountability. In the news you say, oh, Nigerians in debt, they're borrowing this, they're borrowing that. There has to be accountability. You say, oh, the looted funds from so times president was recovered, was given back. So what is the account? What has it been used for? The debt, the money you getting borrowed, what have they been used for? What's the account to show for it? Another thing of note is that during all this ENDSARS protests, like the organizations that have been involved, like they've been giving detailed accounts, of how the money is being spent, how the money is being disbursed, which shows that we can give account, which is the Nigerian youth. Even if we empower, we can do things, we can change things, and we can give account. Yeah. Security reform. Yeah, so this ENDSARS, after some time, after the ENDSARS started, and they said, oh, the government said it's been disbanded, and before we knew it, they said, oh, there's another one, SWAT. And so it's just like ENDSARS, end police brutality. When you're an area like or a country whereby people think, oh, once I have a gun, I have power, I can do anything I like, then oh god, that's like a recipe for disaster. But we're in a sane climb where people think the fact that I have a gun is not to shoot another citizen, it's not to gun down someone else, but actually to use in certain circumstances, certain situations, not just killing people. So they need to be reformed. Now, another thing which is also very sad in all of this is that when you look at the salary the police officers have been given is so small, like, and many of them, they can't even afford to take care of their children, to live well. So of course they have to look for other ways to get money. That's some of them, they have to start harassing people, start inciting violence and all that. It's not an excuse really, but there needs to be reform of all security operative, of all security organization, and say, oh, what is the way forward? Like they need to have like seminars, talks, discussion, way forward, look at their salary, their living condition, all that. Because I tell you, it's only someone who is living all right, even as a security operative who has access to gun, that will say, oh, I want to do my job well. Otherwise they'll just resort to using that gun. Anti-people policies cancellation. There's so many policies that are not in favor of the populace. There's so many policies that are have been passed into law that doesn't even make sense. So they need to be review of that, of even the policies that anti-people, and those really needs to be reviewed and even. Restructuring of the health sector. When I think of it, of the health sector, I don't know if you are in a place whereby you're just praying to God, don't let me have more than simple headache, more than simple malaria, because I don't know what my fate will be, then that is very sad. Like, at least even if it's the government hospital, start from somewhere. The tertiary health center, start from somewhere. Provision of basic things, of gloves, of enough CT scans, X-ray, MRI, like just having a basic structure that you can reproduce in other parts, in other states, just to have and say, okay, we have a health center or a hospital with all these things whereby people can go for emergencies and all that. Very sad to know that, like, I remember there was a doctor, they were in like a doctor's conference and all that, and he had a cardiac arrest and he died because there was no defibrillator or anything. So even if you start CPR, you don't know, is it shockable or not shockable rhythm? How are you going to use defibrillator and all that? And yeah, so it's so sad. There's so many stories like that, and yeah, they need to be restructuring of the health sector, because really over the past couple of months, I've seen people just died, just say chest pain or just feeling tired, which could have been like cardiac infarction, which they could have had like thrombolysis or stents, insertion for all that. But when all these facilities are not available, you just see people dying in their prime. People 50, 60s, the life expectancy is so low, like 60 something. People just dying because the health sector like cannot even undo such cases. I think this really needs to be reviewed. We need to put competent hands there. Start from somewhere. Either you start from a local government or start from tertiary center, but just start something and put something in place, like a complete overhaul of the health sector. Really, yeah. And also to save cost of governance. If you look at the amount of money being spent on election, on campaign, on just so many things that are not accountable for, really, it's just waste of resources. I would say waste of money, waste of resources, and just waste, really. Yeah. So checks needs to be put in place to really save this, to save the cost of governance. Yeah. So what is the way forward? What next? Because that's what is on the lips of everyone. Everyone is saying they're trying to go back to their normal activities, but I think the seed that's been sown is the seed of the awareness, is the seed of the Nigerian youth waking up, coming together and saying, we don't want this, or we want justice, or we want end to SARS, we want end to police brutality, end to bad governance. So what next? In my own opinion, I think the greatest part has been the seed that's been sown. But just like even when you plant, if you plant a seed and you don't water it, you don't care for the surroundings, you don't maybe fertilize the soil, you don't look after it, that seed is just going to die. Now, to avoid that seed that's been sown from dying, I think, in my opinion, there's some things that can be done. For instance, there should be creation of a political party, a new political party, because those ones that are there, like, they're already oversaturated with only God knows what. But they need to be like creation of a new political party. people that have the passion for a new Nigeria, people that have the passion for change, people that have the passion to hold political offices in all sectors. They should come forward, you know, as representatives, as even like channeling the passion towards that. But the first thing, they need to be creation of a political party, a new one. Yeah. So there needs to be sensitization. Oh, now you're saying the next election is 2023, but I tell you, the race for that election should start now. There should be sensitization in the grassroots everywhere, saying don't sell your vote, the importance of not selling your vote, the importance of voting for the right person, because it will go a long way, you know, in determining the next years or what will happen really. Then voters registration, like all hands should be on deck to make sure eligible voters are registered for on time. Yeah. In addition, all hands must be on deck, both physically, financially, to sponsor selected reliable candidates or responsible candidates, and say, okay, these are the people we want them to represent us, either in the House of Representatives, the Senate, even for presidents and vice president, local government chairman. Because from this movement, really, the only way you can see a lasting impact is when the right people are in power. Without the right people being in power, then there's very little what even one person can do. So I think all hands must be on deck, the same way everyone's united, you know, in this cry out for help, cry out to say ENDSARS, end police brutality, end bad governance. I believe all hands should also be on deck to support these people in every way, and to say, oh, you're accountable, because if we're all supporting you and we're voting for you, then you have to also be accountable. You should know that it's not a child's play. You're not going there to play, or you're not going there just for yourself, but I have a crowd of people behind me supporting me. Now I have to keep up to the expectation, really. And with all this, I believe then the seed that's been sown then will grow well and even bud fruits, which will go a long way, you know, in just making things better, making things right. Yeah, we'll continue to echo these words: end SARS, end police brutality, end bad governance, until we have a Nigeria we're all proud of. And hopefully, you know, I can come back in maybe a couple of years or few years time and say, oh, these are the changes that's happened, and this is the progress that's been made, and you know, the seed that was sown is now growing and yielding forth fruit. Hopefully they can come like that. Yeah, so until next time, I will see you. Bye.
As a people, with one song, with one voice, we're a nation